So the assignment today was the review, 1-1 to 1-3, and we're not going to do my calculus there, so let's get that off of there. I think it's, there it is. Whoops, just lost it again. Just a second, I'm going to have to go. For some reason, my finger is being a black pen. All right, I have it hiding behind here. We're going to go to page 15 and work our way forward from today's review. So in the blue packet, those of you who are at home, open to page 15. And on your test for this chapter, whoops, I'm going to wait for that spinning wheel to stop. But on your test for this chapter, you'll be asked to make a Venn diagram. And so we're going to go make this one. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Sorry about that, we had a fire drill. So when you guys make these, what do you think? Do you think these are hard to make, Wes? No? All right. I always tell, when you're reading this, I always say build it from the middle. So find how many like both. So we've got people who prefer Coke and people who prefer Pepsi. I actually used to prefer Pepsi, and now I'm in the Coke one. I actually don't like Pepsi anymore. So I'll show you where I would fall on here. But it says that there are 25 kids total, so all your numbers that you put on here have to add up to 25. 15 say they like Coke, 8 said they like both. That's where I would start. It makes it easiest. The both is the easiest because it goes right in that inner football, okay? The next easiest is the neither. Do you guys know where you put the neithers? Where, Amanda? Yeah, you just said it outside. So there's 4 out here, which would be the person who says, ugh, I don't even like pop, you know? All right, now I'm gonna go back up and it says, I used this, I got the 8, that like both, and I've got the 4 that said neither. I haven't dealt with this 15 that said they like Coke. It doesn't say only Coke, it says Coke. So in this whole circle right here, there has to be 15, but there's already 8. So how do I decide what to put out here? Because there's already 8 that like Coke. They happen to like both, but they do like Coke. And there has to be 15 in this whole circle. So don't throw 15 right here. Those are the ones who say, I only like Coke. Does that make sense? So how do you figure out what number to put in your little Coke only slot? What do you think? The whole circle has to add up to 15, and you already have 8. What are you going to do, Amanda? Yes. Yeah, we're going to do 15 minus 8, which is 7, to put that right here. Now, West, 7 plus 8 is 15, right? So I have 15 who like Coke. 8 of them also like Pepsi. 7 of them, that I would be one of these 7, because I only like Coke. I don't like Pepsi anymore. Okay? So the next one says, we're going to go fill in the rest of this. How many people like either one? Well, what we need to do is figure out, we're missing a number here. We still need to figure out this piece of it. You should always have 3 numbers, the neithers, the boths, and the either ors. So how many kids were asked? How many did they ask this question to? Go ahead, tell me. How many kids did they actually ask? 25. Yep. So we're going to take that 25, and we're going to remove the 4 who said they didn't like anything. We're going to move the 7, remove the 7 that only like Coke, and we're going to remove the 8. So we're going to take the 20, because we have to figure out the leftovers here. So we have 25 minus 4 is 21. You can use a calculator. Minus 7 is 14. Minus 8 is 6. That goes right there. These 6 people only like Pepsi. Does that make sense? Do you see how all these numbers, 10 and 15, add up to 25? So that should always happen. The 4 numbers you write down, Matt, better add up to 25. Now we can answer these pretty quickly. First of all, let's go to letter B. How many like only Coke? That's these guys. So you'd say 7. Next up, how many, let's go to the last one. How many like only Pepsi? 6. Perfect. Plus. Now when it says how many like Pepsi, you have the 6 who only like it, but Amanda, you also have the 8, right? So what do you do with these two numbers? Add them up. Yep, so we'd say the 8 plus the 6, which is the 14. And let's go answer part A next. The either or one's kind of hard, but it's basically everybody except the neithers, right? You like Coke, you like both, you like Pepsi. So you have two options. You can either add up these or say, well, there's only 4 who didn't like one or the other. And I think that's easier, right?
21.
Yes. See how that's a little easier. Excellent, Wes. There. That'll get you 4 right on today's entry on the computer for sure. We're working backwards because for those of you at home, if you're like, why should I on the last one? Because I always go with the farthest person, and we have one of these guys here today who has a good chunk of it done already. So we're going backwards. All right, so next one. It says write the long work for each. So in your class yesterday, if you watch notes at home, which hopefully you did, this P stands for, it's called a permutation, but it's how many ways, at least I kind of think of pick. It's how many ways you can pick 4 out of 7 items. And there's a formula for it. So let's write it down right here. We say N is the total number. So suppose I had, I'll give you an example, but let's just write it down. When we do N, P, and then they usually call it R, and there's a calculator button for it, so I'll show you where that is. But this says write the long work. It's equal to N with this exclamation point. Do you know what that means, Amanda? What word is that exclamation point? You watched the notes yesterday. It's called, we're on page 14 at the bottom. It's called factorial. Okay, and I'll show you what it is. Over N minus R, factorial. So first of all, Wes, do you know what factorial is? Did you watch the notes yesterday? You should have, right? When you're at home, you should always watch.
Yesterday,
right?
I thought you meant for today.
No, not today. This was yesterday's stuff. So factorial, when I write 5 with an exclamation point in math, it means, you might want to write it up above here, to multiply 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. That's what factorial means. Okay? So if I say what's 7 factorial, you do 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Does that make sense? Matt, if I said 20 factorial, it'd take you a while. Because you do 20 times 19 times 18, 17, all the way down to 1. So fortunately, your calculator's been programmed to do it, but we're not supposed to use our calculator on this one, but I'll show you how in a little bit, okay? So 7 factorial goes on the top, and 7 minus 4 goes on the bottom. I'm going to have you guys do number 17 in just a little bit. Now watch. Wes, what did I say 7 factorial is? 7 times what?
7 times 5.
More. 6 times
4.
You're missing a number.
No,
5 times
4
times
3
times
2
times
1.
All right. And 3 factorial, Matt, is 3 times 2 times 1. Does that make sense? And watch. Gone, 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 gone. So I need somebody with a calculator. We'll give it to Matt. And you don't have to be my calculator next time, okay? I need you to do 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 for us. Well, that's a lot to do in my head.
040.
7, 6, 0, 4, 0?
No, it just says 040.
No, 7 times 6 times, there's my calculator. Oh, yeah, it's got, sorry guys at home, I gave him a bad calculator. Oh, all right, we'll get you going. All right, here we go. 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 equals 840. That's what that weird. He couldn't read the 8 because there was a smudge on this. The screen was broken. 840. All right. So what I want you guys to do is write out what this one would mean. Go ahead, Wes. You do 11 factorial You always put this one first on the top, and then you do 11 minus 9, which is 2. Then you got to write it all out and cancel, and Matt will go do it on our calculator. It's going to be a big number. Well, we're going to wait for Wes here. Wes, what do I write down for 11 factorial?
10 times 10.
11 times 10, 9, 8, right?
Yep.
Is that what you wrote? Good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amanda, what do I write for 2 factorial? 2 times 1. And then what cancels off? These guys, right? So when Matt said, what am I entering on the calculator? He's got a lot. He's got to do 11 times 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. And then I'm going to teach him how to do it faster as soon as we're done doing it the long way. So it's going to be a really big number. While he is doing that, you other two, I want you to write out what 7 factorial is, and then we're going to go to the calculator, because as Matt's figuring out, that's not very fun to enter, is it? Was it a huge number? Let me read it off your screen. So luckily, oh, it is really big. It is 1995840. I'm assuming he entered it right. Huge, 19 million something. Wouldn't it be nice if the calculator was programmed to do it? And Wes, do you have a calculator with you? No? So I'm going to show you, and that's probably the last I'm going to be able to do today. Amanda, do you have a calculator with you? I am going to give you and Wes one, because you guys are really going to want to be doing these on the calculator. So why don't you come up here, and I'll find one that has batteries. Come on up, Wes. That one's dead too. They're all dead soldiers here. I think I need to buy batteries. Here's one. It's working. There you go. You're welcome, hon.
Thank you.
You are welcome. And Amanda, here you go. They're all kind of in rough shape. So on the calculator, we're going to go get that big number, but not having to type in what, like Matt did, 11 times 10 times 9. That's a pain in the butt. So what we're going to do here is I am going to escape, and I'm going to go bring up my calculator so I can show you what to enter. All right, so mine is right here. Smart, not smart. TI Smart View. There it is. So when I bring up the calculator, all right, so I believe I haven't done these for a long time, but I think I'm just going to check. It's under math, prob. There it is. All right, so I'm going to repeat what it is under. Okay, so I'm going to quit. So when you turn this on, if you hit this math button over here, it's on the left. It's about 4 down. Do you see it? Hit that one. And then you're going to head over to where it says prob. That stands for probability, and that's the name of the class you're in. So that'll be easy to remember, right? Do you see how this 4th one is that exclamation point? And do you see how this second one up here is the NPR? Do you see what, just like we're doing? So watch, I'm going to again, go ahead and hit second and hit quit, which is right to the right of it. And let's go, I'm going to show you how to get that big number that Matt had to type in. The problem was 11. And then you're going to hit the math. You're going to head over to this prob. You're going to choose the second one because that's what it said on your worksheet. It said NP2. So we're going to hit enter, and we're going to hit the 2. Do you see how it looks just like it did on your worksheet? Am I going too fast?
NPR.
Yep, you'll pick the NPR one. We'll do one more together. So I'm going to hit enter. Whoops. Was it NP? Was it right? Was it? That seems weird. Oh, it was MP9, wasn't it? Was it 11P9? Take a look at that one we just did, guys. I don't have the worksheet. Help me out. Amanda, what was the one we just did with the big number? 11p9, right? Yeah, sorry, I entered. Well, good, we'll practice it again. It's 11, math, over to the probability. We're going to do the second one. You can either arrow down or just hit a 2. But Wes, this is the one we pick right here. Look up at the screen. Yeah, go down one. So it says NPR, hit enter. And it was 9 that we had. There's that big number that Matt got. Does that make sense?
Then after we hit
Yep.
the NPR, then what do we do?
Okay, we'll do one more together. Tell me what that letter A was again, because I'm not looking at the worksheet. The first one we did, what was it?
840.
I know, but what was the original one? We'll get the 840 on the calculator. 10p4? 7p4. Let's go do it. You hit the 7. Then what button do you hit? Math. Then where do you go? Yep, probability. Then which one do we pick? The second one, right? You hit enter, and you guys said 7p4, was it? Yep. And we'll get 840. So do you see how your calculator will do it for you? Does that make sense? All right. I'm going to do one more. Huh? Then, yeah, you can either hit clear, because you're done. You know, you can hit clear, and it'll wipe the whole screen out. So I'm going to have,
It says error on mine.
when you hit clear,
Yeah, quit.
all right, good. So, I mean, we're not accomplishing a whole lot, but at least we know how to work the calculator. The next thing I want to do with you guys is just one of them where it's a word problem that you have to do. So we're going to go to, maybe not even, I don't want to do something new. Let's make sure you have that calculator entry down. So let's go back a page. Sorry, it doesn't like the recording running at the same time. So let's go back to page, just to make sure we're all entering it right on your calculator, or you're going to get them all right. Let's go to yesterday's assignment. So that would be page 11, the very first page. Okay?
I did that whole thing.
You did that whole page?
Yeah.
Oh,
On mine, though.
good. Try entering 1A on your calculator. The 8p3. Try it on your calculator. So on the, just the 1A, do the 8p3 on your calculator just to make sure you're doing it correctly. Remember, you do the 8, you do math, over to probability, number 2, and then hit a 3. Right? What'd you get, Amanda? 336. Do you see how that's exactly what you got doing it by hand? Right? Are we good with how to work the calculators, guys? Do you have one at home? You do? Okay. All right, what'd you get, Wes?
I don't know, it keeps on just going straight to error every time I hit enter.
So go hit the number 8. Oh, you know what? You're forgetting to hit the 3. So you went 8, right? And then you went math, which was correct. Then you went over to the probability, which is correct. And then you hit this one, but you never hit the 3.
Oh,
It was 8p3. You see right here?
yeah.
8p3. So you have to hit that 3 and enter. I gotta have you guys go to science though. I'll take the calculators back. You get a whole lot accomplished, but. Make sure you check in tomorrow when you're at home, okay? Some of you are racking up some absences. I think you're forgetting to check in, so make sure you do.